Hi everyone, my name is Edeama Onwuchekwa, and I am the Equity and Engagement Librarian here in Mesa College. I would like to share with you this short video on the library services and sources that we have for you here in Mesa College. Now, very briefly, we will be talking about library services in Mesa College. I will also be showing you how to find books and articles in the library using OneSearch and the A to Z database. Right after that, we will be talking about how to evaluate the sources that you find in the library or online. And finally, I would like for you to know that after everything, if you can get help from the library if you need help. So let's talk about the services in the library. I would like for you to know that we still have access to resources in the library, and you could get access to this library to these resources online. And if for whatever reason you find a book in the library that you would like to have access to, you can get access to these books through the contactless library service. While we go through the slides, I would show you a video on how that you could watch to know how to get access to physical materials in the library using the contactless library service. This is a short video on how to choose keywords and use resources and how to choose keywords and make the most of your topics using keywords, and how to get the most resources from the library. Now, because I'm going to be sharing the slides with you and sharing this video with you, I would say that you can watch this little clip right after this presentation. Now, the other thing that I would like to show you, and right after speaking about this, I will be going with you practically to the library webpage to show you how to do this. So one of the first steps with getting or finding articles and books in the library is to go through the sdmesa.edu/library link. So you could just type this out and put it on your URL, and when you click go, it takes you to the library homepage. Now, one of the things I always say to students, if you know how to get to the Mesa College homepage, you're just one step away to getting to the library. So if you type in sdmesa.edu, or if you're on the Mesa College homepage, and if you're using a laptop, you would find right on top, you'd see library, and you could click on the library. Now, if you are using a phone, you would see just on the left-hand side, I think, you'd find like 3 straight lines. Click on it. It will give you a drop-down menu that will take you to the library. Remember, in just a moment, we will be doing this practically, so you don't have to freak out. You don't have to bother. We will do this together. But I just wanted to say that the first step to getting access to the library resources is to go to the sdmesa.edu/library. Now, when you're there to find or get articles, I would say to start at OneSearch. So this is what it looks like. This is what it would look like. So right on the research tools, you would find OneSearch. And of course, you can also see this tab. So you could decide to use either this or you could also click on this. So in a minute, we will be talking about getting access through OneSearch. And I would like to just briefly tell you that OneSearch is a search engine that gives you access to the materials that we have in the library. It gives you access to books, articles, periodicals, book chapters, and more. But it doesn't give you everything. So if you type in your search or type in your topic on OneSearch and you do not get everything, please do not give up. In a moment, I will also say you could also use the A to Z databases list. So if you go to OneSearch and you're not finding everything, your next step would be to go to the A to Z databases list. Now, the difference with the A to Z databases list is just like it says, it is an alphabetically listed database list. So it starts from A to Z, but it is based on specialized databases. When we get to the practical aspect, I will show you why this is different from OneSearch. And someone would ask, what are databases? Databases, one of the simplest ways I define databases, I would say that a database is like a storage. It is a searchable storage that you can find articles. So it's like a bank. So if you're looking for articles, you would go to databases, you go to different databases to find the articles that you want. So I'll just do a summary. You would go to sdmesa.edu/library, and your first start would be to go to OneSearch, because OneSearch would give you results from different disciplines, and it would give you articles more and different things. And then if you're not able to find what you want from OneSearch, then I will say to go to A to Z database. So just before we leave this slide, I would like to say that this is the contactless video that I talked about. So if you find a book that is in the library physically and you would like to access it, or you would like to get the book, you would like to get it physically, just click on this video at a later time and you would watch the video and it would tell you about the steps with which you can get resources from the library. All right. So when you go to OneSearch and you type your topic in OneSearch, it will give you a list of results. A lot of times it is a lot. It could range from 1 million results to 600 and something results. And that is a lot. One of the ways with which you can refine your results to get the best results for your research or to save your time will be to refine your results. Like I said earlier, I will be showing you this in practical steps in some minutes. But I just wanted you to know that you could refine your results based on this criteria. So right now, I would say because the library is closed, and sometimes you may not want to travel all the way to the library just to pick up a book or an article, I would say you could refine your results by choosing available online. So if you click on available online, it will take away every other resources that is not available online and will give you only the articles or book chapters or electronic books that are available online. So what it would do, first and foremost, it would take away the things that may not be necessary, the things that you cannot access online, and leave you with the things you can access online. It will reduce the number of results that you had. Now, some of the times the instructor may say, I want you to give me, well, of course, the instructor would always say, I would like to have scholarly and peer-reviewed resources or articles. You could refine your results based on that too. So I'll tell you briefly, scholarly resources or peer-reviewed resources are credible resources or articles that have been written by experts in the field, and they're scientific and they're considered peer-reviewed because a lot of times when these experts write this article, they send it to some other experts who review these articles, and sometimes they say, oh, this is a great article, it can be published. Sometimes you would hear them, sometimes they'll say, well, you need to do some work here and you need to do some things here before it can be published. What this means is that these scholarly resources and peer-reviewed resources go through a series of evaluation. They're peer-reviewed and they're evaluated before they're published. So in a way, they stand the test of time to be said to be credible. So you could actually refine your results by clicking on peer-reviewed. And again, it takes away every other thing, magazines, on any other things that may not be scholarly. It takes it away, reduces your results, it reduces the number of your results that you had, and gives you specifically what you want. Now, I would also like to tell you that you could refine your results based on the publication date. Now, sometimes the instructor would tell you, I would like you to give me articles that were published in the last 5 years. You don't have to bother. Sometimes, students will have to scroll down. Was this published in 2015? Was this published in 2018? You don't have to go through all that stress. What you would need is just type in the date 2015 to 2020 and click refine, and it refines your results for you. Now you could also refine your results based on the resource type. Again, your instructor might say, I want an article and I want 2 book chapters. You could actually do that. So you could actually just click on articles and click on book chapters, and it refines your result based on that. So right now, what I would say, what I would be doing, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I would like to share, and I would like to go to the library homepage practically so we can get access to library resources. So I'm going to close this, and I would quickly close this out so we could, oh, so that's, I'll take a step backwards. I would do that, and we would go to the library homepage, and I will be sharing my screen with you so we can talk about how to access the library resources practically. Remember, this will be familiar to you. This is the San Diego Mesa homepage. So like I said, you're just one step away. All you need to do is click on the library. If you're using a laptop, if you're using a phone, you would find you'd find the 3 lines somewhere here, and you could click that. So I will click here. I already did that. I will click here, and it takes me to the library homepage. And voila, this is the library homepage. So before we go to OneSearch, I would like to tell you that we do have what we call the Ask a Librarian service. Just going to show you that briefly. This is where you can get help. So when you click on the Ask a Librarian service, it tells you the different ways with which we can get help from the library. We do have the virtual help desk that you could get librarians around this time using this ID number. And you could make an online research appointment at a time that's convenient for you. And what you would do is just click on online research appointment, and it takes you to this page, and you could choose a librarian to work with. You could choose the date that's convenient for you and select a time that's convenient for you, and you can make your appointment. Now, the other way with which you can get help from the library, you could use use the number. You could use the number over here, and you could call someone from between Mondays and Fridays from this time, and someone will respond to you. We also do have the 24 hours, 24/7 online librarian service, and it's just here. So what you could do is type in your name, put in your CSID number, put in your email address and your question. Now, remember what I said was this is a 24 hours, 7 days a week help point. So that means at 2 a.m. in the morning, whatever time it is, you can get help from the library. All you need to do is just come to the library homepage, click on the live chat, click right here on the Ask a Librarian, type in your name and put in all the details, and you can start chatting with us. So these are great services that you can use in the library. And of course, you can also email us, but then we will normally respond within 1 business day. So we're going to go back to how you can find articles and books in the library. I just wanted to tell you that you could always use the Ask a Librarian service. You could use any of this to get help in the library. So we're back to the library homepage, and we're going to go to OneSearch. Now, we have this, right? So what you would need to do is you would need to scroll down this big box, but I just thought to say to you that we have this big box as a quick access to a lot of information, especially during the COVID, during the pandemic. So if you want to get help from the library, find information about how to return materials in the library, you could actually find that information here. But if you just want to get access to books and articles, you would scroll past this box, and here you would find your OneSearch tab. Remember when I showed you on my slide, what you would need to do is you could put in your topic here, or you could click on OneSearch. It would take you to the same place, and you can, and then you could click on search, and it gives you the results that you want. We will be talking about A to Z database in a while. I just want you to know that this is where you can find the resources that were on my slide. So quickly, if you're doing research and let's say you're working on a topic, if your topic is social media and children, and let's say I type in that and I click search, like I said, what this does for you is it gives you a whole list of articles, books, and materials in the library that we do have. So take a look at this result. We have over 3 million something results. This is a whole lot. And because we do not want you to spend all your time going through all this, we, the librarians, we thought about a way that you can refine your results. Remember, I did talk about it, so I will be practicalizing. I'll be showing you how to do that very soon. So let's take a look at this. This is a whole lot, right? And so, like I said, it has books, articles, book chapters, and this is being checked out. This is a physical book, and this is no online access. Remember what I said? So this gives you both resources that we have that are available in Miramar, Mesa College, that is available online, and also the ones that's not available online. You don't want to go through all this and making that selection. So remember, one of the first things you would do would be to say, I want resources that are available online. The moment I do that, let's take a look at my results. It takes away every other thing that was not available online, and it also reduces my results. So that's awesome. That saves your time. So right now, everything that you would find here would be available online, just like you can see. Now, the other thing, remember that I said that you could do, you could say, I just want scholarly and peer-reviewed material. So if I check that box, let's see what happens. Again, it does a quick search and takes away the things that are not peer-reviewed or scholarly and gives me specifically the things that I want. This is still a lot, but of course, if you're starting your research, you could actually use this. You could make a whole lot of research from this result. Now, but I just want to show you that the more you refine your search, the less your result and the more specific the information you want. So let's again say that I just want to refine my results on social media and children to articles in the last 5 years. So let's take a look at that. I will refine it with this. So again, it takes away everything. So I'm refining my result based on the years available online and scholarly and peer reviewed. So it reduces this for me. Now, I could still decide to say, I just want to do this with articles. But of course, I can see that a whole lot of everything that I find here are articles. So this is something very important for you to know. You could refine your results. Now, I'm quickly just going to show you something that will be very helpful. So when you find the article that you want, you could decide to click right here to access this article, or you could decide to click on available online. I always click on available online. Now, when that happens, what this does for you, it takes you to a page that gives you information about the title of the article, the authors or author in this time, the publisher. It tells you where it is available online. And then it gives you a summary of this article. So one of the things I say to students, you could decide just to quickly go through this summary and see if that article is relevant for you. You could decide to go through the subject because sometimes the subject gives you a clue to the article. Now, if this was what you really wanted, what I would say is scroll up again and you would click on any of these databases. So these are the databases with which you can find this article. So if you click on any of them, it will take you there. So what I would do is I would click on the first one. And yes, this is very important. You would need your CSID number and your last name to access these resources. So I will type in the unique code and the access number details that we use. And what it would do for me, it will take me to the library, to the article that I want. Now, very quickly, while we're waiting for this to open, I would like for you to know that the difference between getting an article from the library and getting articles from Google is the fact that Google will not give you some of the features that I will be sharing with you. So I'm going to show you something very quickly and interesting. So this is more like the article that we want. Okay. So you could see sometimes it is right on the page that you click on. Sometimes it tells you we do have it in different formats. So we have it in a PDF format. So if you click here, it takes you to a PDF format. The PDF format is more like a scanned format. Okay. And the HTML is more like the Word document format that you can see here. Now, quickly, if one of the things I just wanted to show you quickly, you could actually just listen to it, but you have to download it and listen to it. It has different accents that you could listen to. So these are some cool things. This is just a couple of, just a few that the articles in Mesa College Library has, or the articles in the library has that Mesa College and that Google may not have. So right now, I could choose to click on PDF. I'll just click on it so you see, because you've seen the PDF HTML format. So I will click on this and it would take me to the PDF format. Now, like I said, it looks like it's a scanned form of the article. So this is it. Now, the cool thing is, you scroll down, you see that this looks very scholarly. It looks very scientific because it has a citation. It tells you where the sources are taken from, and at the end of it, it gives you the reference from where all these articles were taken from. Well, this is very important, but I would like to show you some other very important features in this article. Now, when you get this article from the library, one of the greatest things that you could do, you would be to email it to yourself. So you don't have to come again and start searching for the article. You could just click on this link here, or this image here. And when you click on it, when you click on it, you would type in your email address. Always type in the subject, could be social media and children, or it could be research for social media and children, but give it a name that you would remember. So, because sometimes you might go back to your email like, what's this junk? And you could take it out and only to remember that it was for your research. So always remember to give it a subject. If you have some time, you could put a little comment, but your email and the subject, it is very important that you include those information. Now, I would also like to tell you that you could actually add this to a folder. You could decide at whatever point to cite the source. So when you use a scholarly resource in the library or anywhere, you're expected, when you're doing the research work, you're expected to cite the source. You're expected to tell us where you got it from. Now, if you got this article from Google, it may not give you the feature of citing it for you. Sometimes it will not give you that option. But of course, if this resource is from Mesa College, like you're saying, you would click on this and it will give you access to all the citation formats that we have. A lot of times the instructor would say to use APA citation. And so what you could do is just confirm that it has the details, the authors and the date, and the publication, the publisher and the publication date. And you could just copy it and put it at the end of your work. Now, sometimes what you would need to do is, if you're not using APA citation style, scroll down and you would find the citation style that you should use for your class. Sometimes the instructor says to use MLA, so you could also copy this out. So these are some cool features that you could use. You could email it to yourself, you could cite it, and then sometimes you could export it. But then sometimes the instructor tells you, can I have a link to the article that you used? One of the things that I would say, do not copy the URL here, because it might just stay for 2 or 3 days. And by the time your instructor is getting to it, the link may have expired. What we always say to students is, click on the permalink here. And when you click on that, it gives you this access and you could copy this and send it to your instructor. So these are some key features that would make research less stressful for you and give you access to the information that you want. Remember, what I did was I typed in my search, I typed in my topic, I got one of the results, I clicked on the result and chose the database, and I came to the database. Now, if you go through one search and you type in your resource in one search and you're not able to find the information that you want, like I said, you could go to the A to Z database. Now, the A to Z database, like I said, is an alphabetically listed database list that will give you access to the information that you want. So at this point, I will click on A to Z database. I would just like to show you briefly how this looks. So this is what it shows you. It shows you the 104 databases that we have. This isn't daunting, right? But then we're not expecting that you go through all this just to get access to what you want. Because this being one database has over 1 million results. What would be good would be you would come right here to this tab, just on the drop-down menu, click on it, and you would see that it is also listed based on subject. So if you're doing research on health and medicine, when you click on that, it gives you all the 11 databases around health and medicine. And of course, you could decide to choose any of them. So if you click on Medline, it opens to that database. And it's just going to be something like one search. So you could type in your topic here. And when you type in your topic, it's still the same thing. You could click on search. Now, I know that this is a whole lot of information. And so I would like to remind you that you can get help from the library. So this is the A to Z database. And this, like I said, this has different databases that you can use based on the subject. So if you go to one search and you're not able to find a lot of information on one search, you could come to A to Z database. And if for whatever reason you get to the A to Z database and you're not finding the information, that you want, please reach out to a librarian. So back to, we were here in the slide before I left. And this is when we talked about how to refine your result. So reach out to a librarian if you do not understand any of these things, or reach out to me and I will be happy to work with you. So one of the last things that we will be talking about today is how to evaluate resources. When you find information that you want, you need to evaluate the resources. Sometimes we evaluate the resources to see if they're credible enough. Sometimes you evaluate the resources to be sure that it is relevant to what you're doing. So I do have this little video here, but again, because I'm going to be sharing the slide with you, you could play it at some point just to know how this works. But very briefly, I would like to tell you that it is important for you to check the currency of the information that you're using for your research. That's why we had that opportunity, we had that feature to help you refine your results based on the date. So you could check the currency. You could also see how relevant it is to what you're doing. If I am doing a research on social media in children and I'm getting information on social media in adults, then it may not be relevant to what I'm doing. You also need to consider the authority of the author. So when you get an article, especially online, you need to find out who is the author of this work, who are the publishers, who's promoting it. And also you need to check the accuracy. How correct is this information? Especially if you're getting, once again, especially if you're getting this information online, if you're getting them from Google or from another website. A lot of the articles in the library are peer reviewed, so a lot of times they're credible. So once again, you need to check if it is accurate, especially if you're getting this online somewhere else. Now, the other thing you need to check is the purpose of the information. What's the purpose? Is it there to promote particular cause? Now, if is there to promote a particular cause or it's just for a specific reason, you need to confirm if that applies to what you're doing. So once again, this video, this short video, would be very helpful to explaining how this works. So the last thing I would like to, I know that's going to play, I'm going to pause it. Okay, I'm sorry about that. One of the last things that I would like to tell you is that we've got you covered. You need, if everything that I said you do not understand and you think you need to work with a librarian, we've got you covered. And that's why, that brings me again to the Ask a Librarian service. Remember that when on the library homepage, you click on the Ask a Librarian service, it gives you the different ways with which you can get help from the library. You could get help from the 24/7 chat. So at any time of the day, you could reach out to someone and someone would be there to help you. You could call the library number, it's on the Ask a Librarian chat, and you could make reference appointments. So we've got you covered. You've got all the help you need. All we want is for you to just reach out to us. Now, finally, I would like to share my contact details with you. I'm here to help. So as the Equity and Engagement Librarian, I'm here to work with students to help you make the most of the resources that are available in the library. I'm also here to help students that feel that, well, I'm not sure I can get the help that I want. Please reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. So you could call this number and send a message, and I can walk you through the steps with making an appointment. And you could also send an email to me and I will be available to work with you. I also do have a Zoom research session, and well, I call it the Equity Librarians Zoom Research Room. And it's open. So I have my Zoom ID and I have the password, and it's open on Mondays and Thursdays. It's just like office hours. So you could stop by on Mondays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, and I will be waiting for you in that Zoom room. I want to help you. We have librarians that want to help you, and we will help you if you reach out to us. Finally, I just want to show you that we have these amazing librarians that are waiting. We're eagerly waiting to work with you. Please reach out to us and we want to work with you. Thank you for listening and thank you for making the most of the resources in the library. We appreciate you and we look forward to having an amazing experience with you here in Mesa College. Thank you.